Let us proceed with the first song.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome. It is 10 o'clock and 21 degrees here in the greater Portland area. You are on the stream today, the Friday morning stream. And I am your host, Brooks. Hello, welcome. It's been a while since I've used the video cam, but I don't really have many graphics to show you today, so just to keep it entertaining, I thought I would show myself. Alright, this is Declan DP, Aurora by Declan DP. That is what you are listening to, brought to you by YouTube Audio Library. We'll get started in just a minute.
Let us proceed with the first song.
All right, good morning, everybody. I'm sorry for the late-ish start. I know we started right about. All right, what is going on here today? All right, so as I was saying that we have internet issues, we ended up losing internet again. No big surprise there. I have the worst internet known to humankind. But now we should be back. I should be back. Yep, successfully reconnected. I apologize about that. I really do have the absolute worst internet known to man face of the earth. And I apologize about that. But now we're back. We're back. I'm surprised that this doesn't happen more often. I apologize about that. But now we're back. We're back. I'm surprised that this doesn't happen more often during streaming. But yeah, I'm not gonna. It should happen more. It doesn't happen enough, I guess, because I lose internet. Honestly, I lose internet all the time when I'm doing things on my computer. Anyway, so today on today's stream, we only have a few things to talk about. Probably won't be a too long of a stream, but we got some things to talk about. Error: YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Okay, no, it should be. I think it's just because the internet. I think it's because the internet lost connection, so now it's just being a little. All of my settings are being a little funky here. I hope you guys can hear me loud and clear through the mic. Anyways, here we go. Just a few things that I want to talk about today. The first thing I want to talk about is, and this is a controversial take, the importance of filler episodes. Now, I know I'm probably going to be probably the only one who says this, but I actually like filler episodes. I think that filler episodes help flush out more of the story. It helps you learn more about the characters, and as someone that, and as a voice actor, you know, it's also good. It's more jobs for the voice actors that are playing the characters. So I don't mind filler episodes, but I know a lot of people out there do. A lot of people hate filler episodes, and there can be some filler episodes that are bad. I get that. Every show has a bad filler arc or a bad filler episode. That's just sort of the way it goes. But without filler with filler, we just get more shows, more episodes of the shows that we love. Now there are a lot of shows that implement filler. I mean, if you look at Pokemon, without filler, Pokemon would probably have only been 100 episodes, right? One episode for each gym, a couple episodes here and there for like story related things for that region, and then the Pokemon League. So without filler, Pokemon would have been, from 1,000, whatever it is, 1,000 something episodes. It's probably just like 100. Dragon Ball Z, there's a lot of filler in Dragon Ball Z. And Boruto, a lot of people complain about the filler in Boruto. But the thing about these big shows like Boruto and Dragon Ball is that they're released in conjuncture. They're released alongside the manga, and eventually the anime is going to surpass the manga. And in shows like Boruto and Dragon Ball and stuff like that, where they're based off the manga, they're based off of the story that is given to them through the manga. When they surpass the manga, the anime can't make anything else, and that's why they start making filler arcs, because they have to have something in between for something in between the arcs of the manga, which aren't written yet, for the viewers to watch. And you see that a lot in Boruto, and you see that a lot in Dragon Ball Z. In Dragon Ball Super, there were only a few filler arcs in Dragon Ball Super that I can think of. It's like the Purple Vegeta saga, and there's a few others sprinkled in there. But what happened with Dragon Ball Super, I believe, while it was airing in Japan, is that at the end of, I think it was a couple of the arcs, it actually took a break because they didn't have enough content to produce. We here in the West, in the United States, when they dubbed it in English, we were lucky that they had already had all that done, so we got to pretty much have a continuous new episode of Dragon Ball Super for every weekend for 3 years, right? So we sort of lucked out in that regard, where we didn't have to wait for the manga to catch up with Dragon Ball Super. But we can't talk. And I mean, you think about Pokemon Season 1, right? You think about the Indigo League. There was like, what, 81, 82, 83, 84 episodes of Indigo League. Most of them were filler. And I can't say that there was a single bad episode in that first season of Pokemon, right? Every single episode in the Indigo League was amazing. I mean, think about it. You had Pokemon Battleboard the St. Anne. Now, Battleboard the St. Anne is not technically filler, because in the Red and Blue games, you do go aboard the St. Anne and you do have battles. So technically, Battle Aboard the St. Anne is not filler. Pokemon Shipwreck is. Island of the Giant Pokemon is. Journey West Young Mouth. Lights, Camera, Quaction. Think about all of the episodes from Indigo League that were so good. They were all so good, right? I can't think of one bad filler from the Indigo League at all. At all. They were all amazing episodes. So, whenever if I'm rewatching Indigo League, I'll rewatch it in the entirety. There's not a single episode that I'm going to skip over, because every single episode of the Indigo League was so good. Going down the line, not every region had the best filler episodes. I'm not going to say they all do. Johto kind of dragged in some places. Hoenn dragged in some places. They all drag in some places, but I think that I don't think Indigo League dragged at all. And you want to talk about filler? For you adventurers, for those of you that are fans of the Orange Islands, the entirety of the Orange Islands was filler. That whole Orange Island arc is filler. The Adventures in the Orange Islands, the entire second season of Pokemon is filler. So if you don't like filler, let me tell you something. All of the Orange Islands was filler. All of it. All of it was filler. But it was great. I love Adventures in the Orange Islands. It's one of my favorite arcs in Pokemon. And that's all filler. It's all filler. Okay, so obviously we can't talk about filler episodes without talking about the GOAT of filler episodes. The greatest of all time of filler episodes. And that would be the anime that has the most filler episodes, the greatest of all time filler. That's going to be Naruto Shippuden. 40% of Naruto Shippuden is filler. It looks like about 199 episodes of Naruto Shippuden is filler. A lot of filler. Shippuden is filler. There's a meme that goes around. It's like a picture of this giant book, and then a picture of this little book, and the little book says Naruto Shippuden, and the big book says Naruto Shippuden. The little book says Naruto Shippuden without filler. Almost all of Naruto Shippuden is filler, and my guess is, they were making it in conjunction with, they're making it in conjunction with the series. I see the Prestigious PG says in chat, not to mention Pokemon the movie 2000 is set during the Orange Islands filler series. So that's a really good point to bring up. That I don't know if how many of you out there know that. The movies that are set alongside anime are not considered canon. They're not considered part of the storyline. They sort of take place in a different universe if you want. But that's not true about Pokemon 2000. Pokemon 2000 is, I think, one of the only movies alongside Dragon Ball Super Broly and Naruto the Last that do not take place in a different timeline, that are actually canon to the story. Pokemon 2000 is canon to the anime story, and you see that when in Pokemon, I think it's either in Johto League Champions or in Master Quest, there is the saga at the Lake Rage with the Gyarados and the Lugia and Team Rocket and Butch and Cassidy. And they see like the baby Lugia, and Ash says, "Oh, we haven't seen Lugia since back in the Orange Islands," which that little shout out goes to show that one movie, Pokemon 2000, is actually part of the storyline. I do believe that Pokemon, the first movie, and Pokemon Mewtwo Returns, I think those are also canon. I'm not 100% sure about that. I think that those two are, though. Pokemon, the first movie, is harder to, obviously, argue that for, because Mewtwo erases their memory. So, I mean, it could have taken place in the series, and it could not have. But all the rest of the Pokemon movies aren't canon. They do not take place in the story. But I can guarantee you that 2000 does. Okay, anyway, back to Shippuden, as I was talking about before. Shippuden, 40% of Naruto Shippuden is filler. 199 episodes of Shippuden is filler. But the way that Shippuden implements filler is almost genius in a way. I feel like they do it in a way where if you didn't know that it was filler, you're not gonna that you would if you didn't go into it knowing that you're about to watch a filler arc in Shippuden, you're not gonna know that it was filler, because a lot of their filler is beneficial to the story. I'm gonna backtrack. About half of their filler is beneficial to the story, and half of it is not. The first big filler arc in Shippuden, it's kind of a stretch. I would not consider Pokemon the third movie canon. I do remember the episode Airtime in Johto. That is a good one. Now I'm getting back to Shippuden here. But yes, I do remember Airtime in Johto. That's a good one. And no, I would not consider Pokemon the third movie canon. And we're back to what I was trying to talk about. The first major filler arc in Shippuden, which is the Guardian Shinobi 12 arc, the Fire Temple arc, it's a little bit of a stretch. That they had gathered chakra particles from the Ninetales. It's a little bit of a stretch. It's not really beneficial to the story, but you do get to learn about a lot more about Asuma, which is pretty cool. But then, I guess the first filler arc in Shippuden that I didn't know was a filler arc until I learned that it was a filler arc was going to be the three-tailed beast saga with Guren and Yukimaru. That saga, because that's really beneficial to the story. You get to meet another tailed beast, which you wouldn't have met if they didn't do that. You get to meet another one of the tailed beasts, right? You have this massive battle, and Naruto and Kakashi and Sakura and Captain Yamato and Sai and Kiba and Rock Lee and Ino and Tenten and Hinata and Shizune are all there. They're all trying to seal the tailed beasts, and you've got Guren and Yukimaru and Kabuto and Goasu and Renji and the four goons from the Orochimaru hideout and the Akatsuki. You get Tobi. I mean, I didn't get Datara, but you get Tobi, like one of the biggest fan favorite characters in all of Naruto. You get Tobi. And this is an arc that if you didn't see it happen, you wouldn't. It's It wouldn't have been in the manga. If you didn't see it happen, it wouldn't have happened. And it's I think it's crucial to the storyline because you see the tailed beast, you see the sealing of the tailed beast, the Akatsuki getting the tailed beast. You get all of this information that you wouldn't have got if you didn't see it. So I think that that's definitely beneficial to the story. And then there's the Utakata arc, which you get to meet another Jinchuriki, which again you wouldn't have met if you didn't get that arc. I think it's nice to see the different Jinchuriki, because if you don't, the only Jinchuriki you ever really meet are going to be, Naruto, Gaara, and Killer B. I don't know if meeting Yugito, the girl that Deidara and Deidara, oh my gosh, why can't I think of the other guy's name now? Deidara and the guy that Sakura defeats, Sasori. The Deidara, no, it's not Deidara and Sasori. It's Kakuzu and Hidan. The Kakuzu and Hidan capture the Hidden Cloud Jinchuriki. I think her name's Yukito. I don't know if that's in the manga or not. So if you don't get to see that in the anime, you wouldn't have met her at all. The Utakata arc, as I was talking about, it kind of drags. It's kind of long. And while watching the Utakata arc, I'm always like, oh my gosh, is the Utakata arc almost done? Although I don't think it's as long as the Guren and the Three Tails Beast arc. I think the Three-Tailed Beast arc might be 24 episodes. I don't know how long the Utakata arc is. But the Utakata arc kind of drags. There are a bunch of filler arcs in Shippuden. I mean, there's the Killer Naruto robot arc, where there's like a killer robot that looks like Naruto. It's only 2 episodes, and the first time I watched Shippuden, I skipped over it, and the second time I watched Shippuden, I watched it. It was so funny. I can't even remember what it's about. I just remember there's this killer robot that looks like Naruto, and it's destroying the village. That's all I really remember from it. But it's funny. That I do remember it's really funny. There is the Chunin exams arc, with the Genin 9, except for Shikamaru, who is already a Chunin, and Naruto, who's off training with Jiraiya. So you get to see the Genin become Chunin. So that's kind of cool. It also introduced another Jinchuriki in that process. Then there's the Menma arc. The Menma arc it's kind of really long. It's kind of a stretch, and I think it takes place during the Fourth Great Ninja War. Any of those arcs that take place during the Fourth Great Ninja War, even if they're good, it's like, come on, I don't want to be taken away from the Fourth Great Ninja War. I just want to watch the Fourth Great Ninja War. And there are a lot of filler arcs that are sprinkled in the Fourth Great Ninja War. It's kind of a shame. And then there are the boatload of episodes that go back to when they were kids, when they were the Genin 9 in the Hidden Leaf Village back in the days of Naruto. And those are a little bit of a stretch too. There are a lot of those. They go back to when they were kids a lot. I think there's like the Neji's father arc. There are a whole bunch of arcs just of when they were kids, and that it's kind of a lot. I'm not going to go through each and every single one of Naruto's filler arcs because there are 199 episodes. There are 199 episodes of filler. Astru says that you're only on season 1 of Naruto. So are you on season 1 of Naruto or season 1 of Naruto Shippuden? I'm going to take it of just base Naruto. Naruto Shippuden, if we want to put it in comparison, there are 199 episodes of filler in Naruto Shippuden. There are 500 total episodes of Naruto. 500. That's not of Naruto, that's of Naruto Shippuden. I think there's like another 200 and something of base Naruto. And there are 500 episodes of Shippuden. And 199 of them are filler. 500 episodes. That is a boatload of episodes. And I did some math here for you guys. Just to put it into comparison on just how much 500 episodes are. All right. So 500 episodes. How long is Shippuden compared to other shows, right? The entirety of Shippuden, 500 episodes of Shippuden, are so prestigious PGs in the Rescue Sasuke arc. So after the Rescue Sasuke arc in Naruto, it's all filler. Anyway, so back to what I was saying. Would I consider the Garlic Jr. Saga of DBZ filler? It is. The Garlic Jr. Saga of DBZ is filler. It's not in the manga, so it's filler. So here we go. What I was saying, so there's 199 episodes, filler episodes of Shippuden. 500 episodes of Shippuden in total. And now I'm trying to put Shippuden in conjunction with other anime just to show you how long it is, right? So Shippuden is 8 episodes shy of being longer than Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball GT combined. The 500 episodes of Shippuden, though, is more than Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z Kai, Dragon Ball Z Kai The Final Chapters, and Dragon Ball Super combined. That's how many episodes 500. That's how long 500 episodes of Shippuden is. Now, let me put that in conjunction with another anime. Right? We're not talking about base Naruto. I'm going to look that up real quick. How many episodes is Naruto? I believe it's just 200 something. How many episodes is base Naruto? 220 episodes. Naruto is 220 episodes. Shippuden is another 500 episodes, right? So let me now, in comparison to Pokemon, so Naruto Shippuden with 500 episodes, right? In comparison to Pokemon, an anime with in comparison to Pokemon, an anime with 1,269 episodes, the longest anime I've ever watched, especially in its entirety too. Do you want to know how many episodes 500 is in Pokemon? Compared to Naruto Shippuden's 500. Naruto Shippuden itself with 500 episodes. So 500 episodes into Pokemon, right? Do you want to know how many episodes 500 is in Pokemon? Which, when I think of Pokemon, you think of long anime, right? Episode 500 in Pokemon is the 34th episode of Diamond and Pearl, the episode where Dawn catches Buizel. When you think of Pokemon, you think of a long anime. Each region in Pokemon takes usually over 100 episodes. Indigo League is probably the only one that doesn't. But each one takes about over 100 episodes. Naruto Shippuden, the 500 episodes of Naruto Shippuden, is equivalent of watching the Indigo League, Adventures in Orange Islands, Johto Journeys, Johto League Champions, Master Quest, Pokemon Advanced Challenge, Pokemon Advanced Battle, all named after the Game Boy Advance, which the games are on, Pokemon Battle Frontier, and Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. That is 10 seasons of Pokemon. That is how long Naruto Shippuden is. 10 seasons of Pokemon. When I was doing the research for this, I thought episode 500 of Pokemon was going to be somewhere in the Advanced Challenge area, somewhere in Hoenn. I was not expecting it to be all the way to Diamond and Pearl. Because you sit down and you watch Indigo League through Diamond and Pearl, it's going to take a really, really long time. That's 4 regions. And when you think about watching a region of Pokemon, a season, like those, it takes so long. 500 episodes of Shippuden is just up to Diamond and Pearl episode 34. That's crazy. That is just absolutely crazy to me. I would have thought it would have been somewhere in Hoenn, but it's Diamond and Pearl episode 34. That is how long Naruto Shippuden is. It's the equivalent of watching 10 seasons of Pokemon. I believe Naruto Shippuden on DVD, I believe that's 38 volumes on DVD of Naruto Shippuden. That is, it's crazy how long it is. It's crazy. And I'm watching it for the 3rd time now. Watching Naruto Shippuden really is a journey because of how long it is. It's crazy. It doesn't, now that I think about it more, it doesn't surprise me that the 500th episode of Pokemon is in Diamond and Pearl. Diamond and Pearl, I think, is the longest region. I think the Diamond and Pearl series, I think, has the most episodes in a region than any of the other series do. I think it has 200 something when all the others are 100 something. I can't remember, but it is the longest. I kind of lost track with my thought there. Oh, when I was looking up what the 500th episode of Pokemon was, I thought it was going to be more of a memorable episode. It's episode 500. I bet it's going to be something special. And it was just the episode where Dawn catches Weasel. So I guess it does have a major event in it. It does have the fact that Don catches Weasel, but I would have thought would have been something else, you know. Diamond and Pearl did have episodes. Yeah, it sounds like watch time would be over 9,000. Yeah, Diamond and Pearl had episodes where they reviewed the whole series. Like they did an episode where they let's review the series thus far. Those were never aired in America. Those were never dubbed in English. I would have thought that the 500th episode would have been on one of like the reviewing of the series in total, or maybe the 500th episode would have been when they met up with May. But it's not. But that also doesn't surprise me because Pokemon didn't do anything special for their 1000th episode. That kind of really bummed me out. You know, One Piece had this huge celebration. You know, 1000 episodes. Pokemon really didn't do anything special. The 1000th episode of Pokemon was the episode of Professor Kukui getting married. So I guess in that regards, you know, it's the first episode that they ever showed anyone getting married in. So I guess that's kind of special. But I would have thought for the 1000th episode of Pokemon that would have been when they did the Misty and Brock reunion in Sun and Moon. They did that for I believe 20 years of Pokemon. They brought back Misty and Brock in Sun and Moon. I would have thought that would have been how they celebrated the 1000th episode, but they didn't. The 1000th episode of Pokemon was Professor Kukui getting married. I was a little bit sad about that. I kind of wish they did a big celebration, but they didn't. It's fine. Pokemon episode Champion It Up. Remember, it's like a two-parter. Yeah, a lot of those episodes, especially when you get involved about like the leagues and stuff, are two parts. So yeah, when I want to talk about the importance of filler episode, that's what I want to talk about. Now, there's one more thing that I want to talk about today on the stream. I almost forgot. I almost just ended the stream and forgot that it was on my docket of things to talk about here, and that is this new game that I discovered. You know, I'm at this stage of life where I'm very busy. You know, I don't have a lot of free time. And when I do have free time, I'd rather spend it, sleeping, resting, than playing video games. So when I do play a video game, I don't want a video game that's going to be long. I cannot sit myself down to play a full 60, 70, 80-hour game anymore. I do not have the time for that, right? And it would take me a long time to play a game like that. It took me 7 years. 7 years to beat Breath of the Wild. 7 years. Right? I don't have the time to play a long game anymore. I just don't have the free time anymore. Right? When I played Spider-Man Remastered for the PS5, it took me 20-ish hours, I think. That's about as long of a game as I'm going to play right now. If there's a game that's longer than 20 hours, I'm not going to play it. Really, I'm looking for a game around the 13-hour mark. It's a 13-hour game. I will play it. As I really do not have the free time to invest in games right now. I just started Super Mario Wonder. And I'm trying to get it done in 13 hours. I have hot takes about Super Mario Wonder. I don't know if I'm going to... This video is not going to be my hot takes of Super Mario Wonder. I do have a lot of opinions on the game. Maybe next week I'll do that. But anyway, my main point is I don't have a lot of free time. And the free time that I do have, I really can't spend getting invested in a new game. However, I just got invested in a new game. And this game is all I can think about right now. And for a game to do that to me in this moment, being a game that it's all I can think about is playing this game. It's been a long time since that happened, especially because I don't have a lot of free time. I think the last time that I can think about a game that I could not stop thinking about playing that game was probably way back in Skyrim, maybe. I could not stop when I first played through Skyrim. I can't remember. No, there were definitely other games since then that I've I couldn't stop thinking about playing the game. Definitely PlanetSide 2, definitely. But anyway, the game that I'm talking about that I've been super invested in and cannot stop playing is the winner of Steam's 2023 Better with Friends Award, Lethal Company. Now, many of you out there probably already heard of Lethal Company. It's kind of the next big thing right now, you know. First there was Minecraft, and then there was like Fortnite, and then Among Us, and right now the big thing is a Lethal Company. People are making so much Lethal Company videos all over the internet. Lethal Company is a game. It's a co-op game. You can play with up to 4 people, so you and 3 other people. But there's a mod, More Company, that allows you to play with up to 50 people, and almost everybody plays with the mod, so they can play with more than just 3 other people. It's currently in its early access. You can get it on Steam, I think, for $9.99. The game is like, it's a horror. It is a horror co-op game, and it is absolutely terrifying. Terrifying. I'm still recovering from like what I thought I was gonna have a mini stroke last night when I was playing the game. I think it is the scariest game I ever played. I think it's scarier than Resident Evil, hands down. And you know, you can play it during the day. I always play it at night. I feel like playing a horror game is better at night anyway, given that like nighttime spooky aspects. Basically, the point of the game is you work for this company. You and your fellow workers, co-workers, are working for this company, and the company itself. I'm not too familiar with the lore. It's the lore. So I'm sort of like piecing together what I think I know. Is that the company has imprisoned this giant Cthulhu-esque monster that could eat the entire universe. And your job as the employee of the company is to go off into space in your spaceship with your coworkers, travel to different planets to find items. Junk. It's junk. Pieces of metal, teapots, toys, paintings. Absolute just pieces of junk. To find them and bring them back to the company where the monster is imprisoned, and offer those as food to this Cthulhu monster that's imprisoned. And you know, each item is worth a certain amount of money, and when you bring it back, the company then pays you for the items that you bring. But the company also puts an item quota on you. Like, you have to make this much money every 3 days, right? And it starts at $130 or space currency, whatever it is. But the thing is, these planets that you're visiting to are home to these facilities that you get the items from, and the facilities are filled with the most terrifying monsters that you have ever seen. And the later in the day that it gets, the more frequent and the more chances are that you are going to run into an absolute terrifying and scary monster. And there are different levels, like the planets, you know, different tiers, like first the easy tier, the mid tier, and the extremely hard tier. And obviously you go to different planets, it's going to get harder. The later in the day it gets, the more chances of monsters are going to come out. And the sort of genius thing that they implement in this game that adds to it is the use of their voice chat function. And the way that their voice chat works is, I don't think you could turn voice chat off. I mean, you probably could, but you shouldn't. And the way their voice chat works is it's in proximity. So if me and my coworkers are all in the spaceship, right, we can all talk, we can all hear each other. But if there's a coworker in the spaceship and I am, 2 miles away inside the facility, I can no longer talk to that guy in the spaceship. They can't hear what I'm saying. I can't hear what they're saying because it's in proximity. So basically it's, if you were actually there in real life, it's how far you can hear someone, right? So if I'm in the facility and my coworker or my buddy is 3 rooms away, I'm not going to be able to hear what they're saying because there are walls between us. So they made it so if you're not next to somebody or in proximity to someone, like you would be in real life, you're not going to be able to hear them. And that's if I'm running down the hallway because there's a monster chasing me and I'm trying not to die and I'm screaming, "Everybody run, there's a monster coming," my friends might not be able to hear that. They might get eaten by the monster. But then there are items in game that you can buy with the currency that you get by selling the items, and you can get walkie-talkies so that you can always stay in contact with your buddies. You can get like flashlights so you can see better, but the flashlights die pretty quickly. You got to get the pro flashlights. But it's absolutely terrifying. The game is absolutely terrifying. And every 3 days, you get a higher quota of items, a higher quota of money you have to make, right? So it gets harder and harder and harder. The highest that I've made it is up to like 1,320 or whatever. And it starts at 130, goes up to like 230, and then 480. It goes up to however the increments sort of like build up. And I've been playing with mods like most people do. So mostly just so we can play with the more company. So you can be with more than just 4 people. So you can play with a bigger group. And that's what we wanted to do. I started playing with a group and we wanted to be able to have a few more people. We were not really big of like adding mods and stuff, but we were like, we're just gonna play this one mod so we can play with more people. That seems fair. And then a couple of quality of life mods is what I was ensured. We were gonna get quality of life mods just to make the game a little bit smoother to play because it is still easy access. One of the mods is definitely not an easy. It's definitely not a peace of mind mod or an easier way of life mod. And that is the fake fire exit mod. So in the game, to get into the facility, there are 2 entrances. There's the main entrance and there's a fire exit. There's only one fire exit. But in this mod pack, that's supposed to be our quality of life mod pack, there is a fake fire exit mod. That's not quality of life at all. And if you go through the fake fire exit, a giant tentacle monster comes out, grabs you, pulls you in, and eats you. It eats you, right? So if you don't know which fire exit is the real fire exit, don't go out the fire exit. So there's only one real fire exit on the outside, right? But when you're on the inside, there can be like an infinite number of fake fire exits. And the inside of these facilities are a maze. They are an absolute maze. So you can get lost really easily. So last night I was playing Lethal Company pretty late, like 12:30, 1 a.m. And I'm walking around, right, with a group of people. And we get to this room. It's called the apparatus room. And the apparatus is it is the monster's item, right? When you take that item, like they are offended. They're going to come after you in full force. Before you take that, there aren't as many monsters, but as soon as you take the apparatus, those monsters are going to come after you. So we take it and we're like, all right, we're fine. We'll grab it. We have a bunch of items. The fire exit is right around the corner. So we grabbed it. We're running. I'm sprinting. My heart is racing. We have monsters chasing us down the hallway. Like these giant behemoth giants are chasing us. They kind of look like Daedroths from Oblivion. We have these giant spiders and worms and everything. They're all chasing us down the hallway. We're screaming and running. And I fly around the corner and I see the fire exit. And I was 100% sure that was the right fire exit. And I opened that door and I got pulled in by that tentacle monster and it scared the absolute heck out of me. I thought like my heart was going to stop. I actually thought I was going to have a stroke. It was so scary. It was so scary. And when you die in the game, your voice chat cuts out, so you can no longer talk to the other people. So if you die, you can say, oh, I'm dead, or don't go through that fire door. Oh my gosh. I wish I was recording my face during that point because that was so flippin' scary. That was so flippin' scary. I'm like just thinking about it like gets my heart racing. Anyway, if the people of the internet out there haven't looked into Lethal Company yet, I definitely suggest trying it. I think it's only on PC right now. I'm sure eventually they'll port it over to other consoles. I don't know how. It's a big part of it is voice chat, so I don't see it being able to come to the Nintendo Switch, but I could definitely see it maybe going to PlayStation 5 or Xbox. It might already be on there. I'm not sure, but I do believe that it's only on PC. Yeah, it's only on PC. And that makes sense just because of the way that it is. It's only on PC. All right. That's really all I wanted to talk about today, you guys. I'll talk about filler episode and talk about Lethal Company. Maybe next week I'll go into my... Wow. This stream ended up being a lot longer than I thought. I thought it was going to be one of my shorter ones. Maybe next week I'll go into my deep dive of Super Mario Wonder and my hot takes and my opinions on Super Mario Wonder. I just recently started it, so I think I have some controversial picks. Controversial thoughts of Super Mario Wonder. I do believe Super Mario Wonder, it won best family game, right? Hold on. Let me look that up. Game of the year. I believe it won best family game. Yep, it won best family game. And I can see that. I think you could play it multiplayer. I can definitely see it being best family game. But I do have hot takes about it. And maybe that will be what I do next week. I'll have to leave a little note to myself. Next week, Super Mario Wonder hot takes. Maybe I'll even play a little bit of Super Mario Wonder next week. How would you guys like that? We'll see. All right, anyway, take care, everybody. Have a really good weekend. Stay warm. We're having record cold weather here in the United States. Stay safe, stay warm, and we'll see you next Friday. Thank you for streaming, as always. Thanks to Prestigious PG and Astro Ketchum for hanging out in the chat, keeping me company today. And as always, if you didn't see the stream, the archive of the stream will exist in the... If you go to playlists and then select Friday morning